Hi, this is Frank Warren and you're watching Lights Out.
This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out, and with me via Zoom, delighted to be joined all the way from sunny Tenerife, Troy Williamson. Troy, good morning to you, mate. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all, considering the situation we're in.
Well, when you say the situation that we're in, I think you're slightly better off being sat in Tenerife right now. The weather looks really nice, and we're sat here in cold, rainy weather, and we're still under this pandemic. How's the holiday going? Are you out there training, or is it just a quick getaway?
We did come out to do some training, but I've been stuck in quarantine ever since we've got here. So until I fly up, it's just going to be a full holiday stuck in quarantine, 18 days.
It's a long period to be out there, but then again, like I said, the weather seems nice out there.
Yeah, it's good to get a bit of sun sat on the balcony, but that's about it. It's been a long time now, and I'm ready to get home.
You keeping yourself in shape for your next fight? I mean, the last time we saw you in the ring was all the way back in August. It's been a while. I take it the next time we're expected to see you back is in perhaps early 2021?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you said I keep myself in shape. Like I said, obviously, I'll go over the full story for you. I came out with my friend to do 6 days training in the sun at the MTK gym in Tenerife. On arrival, he tested positive for COVID-19. I was negative. They tried to just stick him in like a COVID hospital. Really, they were like, right, you're gonna have to go here. There's gonna be no satellite. That you can't have your phone, this, that, whatever. And he was like, to be honest, it sounded like he was just gonna treat him like a prisoner and just stick him in a little dog cage sort of thing. So I was like, I'm not leaving him. So anyways, we walked away from the hospital. We ended up walking to the apartment that we were staying at. I checked in, and then the health officers came and they were like, right, you got to go in the apartment and you just can't move until tomorrow morning when somebody from the health centre comes in and checks your temperature whatsoever. So like, okay, no worries. Anyway, we went in the apartment, and then when we got in the apartment, they came up, they taped the door, but like basically barricaded us in. There was security all of the apartment, so we could not leave. That was it. They were saying, right, you got to quarantine for 10 days. So we were like, fucking hell, what the fuck? Anyway, cut a long story short, only 6 days later, they came back and retested us. Didn't do the full 10 days. They came back in 6 days, retested us. And then 2 days after that, I came back positive, he came back negative. So they've started the 10-day quarantine all over again. So we've just been stuck in quarantine since we got here, and we're not back till next Tuesday. And then next Tuesday is going to be 18 days in total, just stuck in the apartment. So it's been a trip of a nightmare. It's not worked out as planned.
Yeah, how have you managed to survive? I mean, yeah, I know you're in Tenerife, but to be stuck in an apartment for what, over 10 days, it must have driven you crazy out there.
Oh, fucking yeah, it feels like my head's fell off like a couple of times. To be honest, we've been writing shopping lists and posting them, like emailing them to the reception staff so they can go get our shopping. And which again, it's not been ideal because they're getting the wrong list. They're getting the wrong stuff on the shopping list. I don't know whether things are different over in England to what they are over here. Just a little example, like I wrote down crisps. I just wanted a packet of crisps one of the first days, and I brought back a packet of frozen chips. Just that thing like that. I was just like, it's going to be a long week. But now that week turned into 10 days, and that 10 days turned into 18 days. So it's been an absolute nightmare.
Well, listen, fingers crossed you can get through it, and then obviously get back to the UK as quick as possible, and then. But yeah, like I said, definitely not an easy situation to be in another country and being locked up.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Like you say, first couple of days, the head was burnt out. I kicked up a fuss, and then they started threatening to send the police to the apartment, and I was just like, I started to bite the bullet and just thought I'm going to have to get on with it.
Would you say that the way you're being treated at this is totally unexpected, and you would expect a lot better, seeing as you guys have just flown into the country and one of you didn't obviously have COVID and the other one of you did.
Yeah, well, straight away, like, one of us was positive, one of us was negative. They should have split us up, because even though, like, there's nothing, I feel perfectly fine. I haven't once sniffed or anything like that, and I just think when the retest was, it's as if I had to be positive because he was positive. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should have split us up, but like you said, it is what it is. It's fucking talk comes to extremes now. Obviously, I know not to fly again. Obviously, during all this shit, but I just thought, get away, do nice 6 days in the sun. Everything will be okay. But I guess not.
Lesson learned: don't travel to Tenerife to get in a training camp next time, didn't they?
Definitely not. Come to Tenerife, don't want to come back again.
Did you manage to catch any of the boxing during the weekend, last weekend?
Yeah, good. Obviously, I've got my phone and I've got the BT Sport app on my phone, and we've got an iPad here. So yeah, I caught up with the boxing at the weekend.
Obviously, you know what went down between Daniel Dubois and Joyce. You know what people are saying online. What is your take on it?
It's a hard one, if I'm completely honest, because I've not been in that situation. But my last fight, I was meant to be boxing on that show against Hamza Shiraz. And then in August, after I last boxed, I got laser eye surgery because I needed to do that to pass the British Boxing Board of Control. And I went back training a little bit too early, I think, because when I sparred, I went and sparred Jack Cullen, and I travelled to Manchester, which is 2.5 hours away, and probably sparring for what, a minute, just over a minute in the first round. I took a shot to the eye, and like, my eye obviously wasn't fully healed from the surgery, and my eye went straight away. And I was like, whoa! I had to like stop the spar. But that's sparring. So obviously, I was just like thinking, whoa! Like, I couldn't see at all. Obviously, the abrasion. Well, I had to go to the hospital, go to the opticians again. They basically said it's just like having my eyes glazed again. He scratched my full eyeball, so I couldn't see. So I had to stop the spar. But that's sparring, so I think that's completely different in a fight. Where that's why I pulled out the fight, because I thought, if that happens in a fight, there's no way I'd be able to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's me saying it from like Matt. That's me just saying it. Where if I was in the ring, it's a hard one, because I know how I wouldn't have been able to continue in the ring if that happened to me. But what would I have done? Would I have took a knee, or would I put my arm out, or would I have fought on? Obviously, me sat here right now, I'd have fought on. But when I'm in that situation and I'm in the ring and punches I get fought on, you don't really know what would happen. But I think it's hard when people say he's quit. Like you said, I didn't say he quit. I just said he pulled himself out. And I did tweet a couple of rounds earlier saying that his corner should pull him out, like in the fight. And then 2 rounds later, I tweeted he pulled himself out. Whether that's quitting or whether, I think you can take it however you want to look at it. Everyone has their opinions. I just think fucking he must have been in pain to pull himself out. That's all I'm saying.
Do you look at the situation and look at it? Well, people are looking at it from 2 ways. Either one, it was poor management from the corner and Martin Bowers, or 2, it was the fact that he knew he was 23 years old.
To be fair, I think there was too much pressure on his corner not to pull him out. But his eye was closed. You could see his eye was closed. His corner should have pulled him out two rounds before. I think, and I tweeted the same as Mark Heffron and Denzel Bentley. You could look at that. The corner could have just sent Mark Heffron out. The referee didn't stop the fight. The corner did. But I think the corner did the right. What's the word? They made the right decision in pulling them out because he couldn't see. So if Daniel Dubois got pulled out by his corner, nobody would be calling him a quitter, and he might not have got further damage than what he did. His eye might have just closed. He might not have had any fractures at that point. So you've got to blame his corner because he could not see. So his corner should have pulled him out. But I think there was too much pressure on his corner to pull him out.
What did you make of Joe Joyce's performance on the night?
But he boxed superb. I backed Joe Joyce to win. A lot of people didn't give him the credit he deserves. They were calling him Slow Joe and saying he's old, saying he can't box, but he's the most decorated amateur, male and female, for Team GB. So how can you not say he can't box? He won an Olympic silver medalist, which, in my opinion, should have been gold. For such a big guy, he can box, and he proved that Saturday night. His jab, he couldn't miss when he was on that lead, and he couldn't miss. I think he was getting there was a lot of disrespect in people not giving him the credit what he deserves. I thought.
Certainly, I mean, I have to agree with you. I don't think he was getting enough credit going into the fight, and there was a lot of people even after the fight not giving him the credit that he deserved. But let's move on. You mentioned the fight with Hamza Shiraz. Obviously, I take it at some point that's going to be rescheduled perhaps for 2021. That's a brilliant fight. 2 undefeated super welterweight fighters, both fighters from Britain, under Frank Warren. He fought on Saturday night on the Dubois versus Joyce card. Firstly, what have you made of Hamza Shiraz so far in his professional career? And second of all, what sort of a fight are we going to get when that fight does eventually happen?
Well, he boxed well. I didn't make much of his opponent, but that's not his fault. You can only fight who's put in front of you. I know he's very experienced at Pito, and he's been in with some good opposition. But that was years ago. That was many moons ago. I didn't think much of him. But Hamza Shiraz, he boxed well. He didn't lose a round, in my opinion, and he got the job done. He got the stoppage in the 10th. I think obviously when we do meet, I seen his interview and he was respectful. He wasn't coming across all clash and things. And I think when we do meet early in 2021 or whenever it does meet, whether it's next or whether we have a fight and then it happens, just expect fireworks because I think our styles will gel well and it'll be a fan-friendly style and it'll make for a cracking fight.
It certainly does. And one thing I like about the fight is that potentially it's going to be with fans as well. You've obviously boxed without fans. How important is it that this fight does have fans? Because as I mentioned, it's 2 undefeated British fighters that are both, on a good path at the moment. I believe it could potentially even be for the British title. So how important is it for you that we get fans in for this fight? Because like I said, it's a cracking fight for the fans.
Yeah, 1 million percent. A cracking fight. I think it does deserve fans, and because the fans will win when we do meet. So a lot of tickets will be sold, and hopefully it's on a big undercard, chief support somewhere. So who knows? We can only see. I know Liam Williamson is fighting for the world title in February or March. So hopefully that's over in the UK and. Who knows, maybe get it on that undercard. That'll be good.
Final question, Troy. What was your thoughts on Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. at the weekend?
They're my 2 favourite fighters of all time. Oh. They're the reason why I got into the sport. So a lot of people were slagging them off saying they didn't deserve to be in the sport, but you could see by Tyson's reactions in his interview afterwards, he was saying that he wouldn't come back and he wouldn't compete properly. He was just doing it for exhibition and helping people out. With the charities, etc., which I thought was great. It's a great cause, and it was great to just see him fit and healthy and doing what they both love, and they both left the ring fit and healthy. So why not see that? I'd love to see them carry on and do other things like that as well. I know I'd rather watch them than watch that daft divvy Jake Paul or whatever you call him, the YouTubers fight.
Yeah, well, listen, is that something you would be interested in? Because Jake Paul, after that, he's talked about Canelo, he's talked about Adrian Broner. I mean, there's some fair play to him. He's getting in the ring. We all know the risks that anyone puts ahead of them when they get into the ring. Is that something you might be interested in one day, is fighting someone like Jake Paul?
If they phone me and offer me Jake Paul next, I know I'd be getting paid a lot of money and I know I'd make it easy work. So, yeah, why not?
What would happen if you got in the ring with a Jake Paul?
to be honest with you, you can't really. They're not boxers, are they? They're not boxers at all. And I think somebody like that, you probably could box them, and they'll probably make you look average because they'll just be swinging little daft punches from all over the place. But I don't know. It's, if I got the call and they said there's an opportunity you could fight Jake Paul, would you take it? I'd take it within a heartbeat, straight away. I think it's just disrespectful to our sport, if I'm completely honest. Like you said, they're getting paid absolute fortunes just for two little, just because they've got a big name and they've got a lot of following. I think, I can't see how they've even managed to pass a boxing license. It's ridiculous.
Well, listen, it's a sport where a lot of people are picking up licenses these days. And all we can do is just perhaps just nod our heads to it, let them get on with it. And yeah, well, listen, publicity-wise, it's good for the sport, but obviously everybody has an opinion on people getting into the ring, whether they're boxers or whether they're celebrities, but it is what it is. Troy, is there anything else you would like to add before we end the interview?
No, that's it. Just like you said, just thank you for doing the interview, and hopefully early 2021 you'll see me on the big stages and the big fights. And yeah, 6 days left in quarantine, so this is mentally tough. I'll get through any training. I'll get through any tough training camp after this, that's for sure. Because this has been mentally tough for 12 days, just stuck staring out of a balcony for 12 days. It's been absolute mental torture.
Well, listen,
one for the memory, that's for sure.
100%. The pleasure's all ours. Appreciate your time. To keep your head up. 6 more days to go. Sit outside in the balcony, and just get back to the UK safe. And we look forward to speaking to you sometime beginning of next year.
Speak to you soon, Paul.
If you're talking to like that, Troy.
It's on you, mate, probably.